On Tuesday, the City Council of Washington, D.C. voted to legalize same-sex marriage, a sweet victory, although we must still wait to see what Congress does. The troubling part, well, one of many troubling things leading into this, was Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Washington informing the City Council prior to the vote that should this resolution pass, the Archdiocese would feel compelled to quit providing social services of any sort within the district. Try to imagine that conversation cast back a couple thousand years. We're really sorry, Joseph. We used to have a barn and some hay available for people who needed to get out of the cold and to sleep, give birth. But, you know, in the inn, they have decided to start serving meat on Fridays, and we just can't have that. So the barns are closed. All help is cut off. We're not providing help for anybody. Don't get me wrong. I believe in religious freedom. I believe deeply in religious freedom. I believe that the Roman Catholic Church is completely wrong, theologically, pastorally, ethically, commonsensically, completely wrong in their position on gay marriage. And I believe that they have every right to hold that position, wrong or not. They have a right to refuse to perform such marriages. They have a right to preach and teach against them in their churches, no question. What they don't have the right to do is impose those beliefs on other churches or on the rest of society. They do, it can't be argued. They really do have the right to decide also where they're going to give their charitable attention, their time, their energy, and their money. They have the right to say, we're not providing services here anymore. They have that right as a matter of religious freedom, perhaps even as a matter of freedom of conscience, but what conscience allows you to hold the poorest, the most needy among us hostage for any belief, political or theological? It's particularly appalling at this season, Advent, when we're awaiting the return of Christ and we remember that He came poor, in the cold, needing just those kinds of services. Remembering that, how can we think of denying such care to anyone among us for any reason? And yet those moments when I'm most appalled at someone else's behavior tend to remind me that I ought to do a little re-examination of my own as well. These are the moments when I'm forced to ask myself, what convictions, preconceptions do I hold so dearly, so tightly, that I'm afraid to loosen them even for the sake of common sense or for the sake of compassion? In this season of Advent, as we await a Lord who always comes in unlikely guises, in unlikely ways, who blows unpredictably, may we all have the grace to have minds as well as hearts that are open to perceive and to receive. May God give us in this Advent season the grace to recognize her whenever and however she comes. Amen.